Welcome. Putting together another test video on this mill. This is one of the tests I just did. I just simply drew up the program in CAD, imported it over to my CAM program, inserted a Q in the center of it. Just doing one of my tests I want to do on different lettering. This will eventually be done with an engraver. I'm going to build an engraver. It'll attach to the head there on the side. That'll be a different operation, but on this one here I overstepped the corners of it just to see what it would look like, how it's going to come all out. In this video I'm going to go ahead and run it so you guys can see what it looks like. Obviously this is facing you this way when it's being milled. It gets milled backwards like that. As I mentioned in the first video, you may not be able to hear me, the mill was running then. Your origin is actually over here in your bottom left hand corner. It does get confusing, it can get confusing rather. When you draw it in your CAD program, you put your origin over here on the left side. Then when you load your program on the mill and whatnot, it looks like it's in the wrong spot. It's actually not in the wrong spot. It just flips your part around, so your origin is over here. You always start on your left side of your X and Y, your home switches. That's what these indicators are for as well. I'll show you here real quick. I did do a little bit of adjustments on my camera here as well. I had it set to automatic. I got it set to manual settings now. So hopefully that's going to make things look a little bit better. This is what the drawing looks like in my CAD program. I just quickly drew up a bow tie. It's not precise. It's precise, but it's not perfect. Just import that to my CAM program. This is it in CAM. And I just place the Q in the middle of it. The text box, you just go up and click your text box and you type in whatever you want it to be, whatever you want the lettering size, spacing, and whatnot. Just put a Q in the center of this one to make it simple. Won't be too complicated on the first few tests. Like I mentioned, I've done this all before years ago, so I am familiar with a lot of it. Things are pretty high-tech nowadays as compared to the old days. It does a lot more. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it for the operator. Makes things a lot easier. What I'm going to do is I got everything all set here already. Fire up the mill. What I'll do is I'll do this test in wood. I'm on this piece of wood. When I get that done, I'll go back and combine the videos together. I'm going to do the same part in aluminum next. That'll be in 1/4 inch aluminum. We're going 0.125 deep on all the cuts. That's 1/8 of an inch. And, should be good to go. I got a pretty good sized piece of wood up there too. This piece here that I did before, this top and bottom piece. For my first test, I just flipped around and used the bottom other side of it. I did get that circle problem taken care of. I had to recalibrate my x-axis is all. Did that with the dial indicator. Double checked it with the caliper and test indicator. Did all of X, Y, and Z axis, so that's all fresh now and right on the money. This will run. This is from the first test here. 4 minutes 39 seconds. I did bump up the IPMs, so it's running a little bit quicker. Here we go. See, our compressor loaded it there too, so I can actually blow it out this time. As I mentioned, this will actually be done on the engraver once I get around to building that. Be real small and just doing it with a 3/16 bit, same one I'm using. Except the outside perimeter. That's where the gap would be right there, where it raised up and moved over. That grade would be a gap in between there. In this case, it's just making the skew wider. The offset of the tool width. Actually making a bow tie now. Pretty good size, it's 6 inches long. 2 inches wide, I believe it was. I don't remember. CNC is the way to go, boys. Can't get any better than that. Hear that noise? That was the overcut of the corner. I set all that in my CAM program. Just one of the tests I'm doing. That's all she wrote. Until I get them relays hooked up, I'll have to manually turn it on and off. As you can see, there's the part. It looks backwards because it is. Like I mentioned, you just take it out and just flip it around the other way. From this other view, obviously it's right. It's the bow tie. The Q in the middle of it, short for quarter scale. What else? What I'm going to do is I'm going to load a piece of aluminum on here and get that all situated. I'll put together another clip, and I'm going to actually run the same program in aluminum. See how well that end mill works in aluminum. Don't work out too well. I have to go back to my cam program. Adjust the feed rate. I actually might do that first. Don't want to take too deep of cuts because that end mill is, like I mentioned, it's got many hours on it. So take it easy. Hey guys, yeah, I'm all set up to do this same part, the bow tie with the Q in the center, in aluminum. This is 1/4 inch. The dimensions of the material is 4 inches by 8, 6061 T6 aluminum. I did go back in my cam program and alter the depth per pass on that wood. I was doing 0.050, so I thought I'd go a little bit less on this because it is quite a bit tougher than wood, obviously. And my end mills is pretty dull too, so I set it to 0.025, half the depth of it as it was before. Get it all fired up here. Turn the speed up a little bit. This is the first test in aluminum, so we'll see how well this goes. Go up and hit start cycle. Let her do her thing. Set on the table in the right spot, be able to get it all, but it's relatively close. It is all. Shattered. I put some more on too, about it's going to dry. Got a little bit of chatter. Probably a little more when you go to do the bow tie. Or just go with skating. I highly doubt you can even hear me, so. see I didn't alter the program or overcut the corners. This part would be to cut out, it'd be perfect in that way. You overcut the corners, you're going to cut the part completely out. What I'll do here now is I'll pull it off the mill, put together a quick video on it, see what it looks like. Well, all in all, it looks pretty good. Few different things, like I mentioned, I'm overcutting the corners. The main reason I'm only doing that is if this part would be cut out. That's where you got nice sharp edges on all your corners that way. Obviously, you're always going to have a radius in your corner here. That could be cleaned up in a different operation. Primarily, what I'm looking at for doing it this way is my step over in between here. As I mentioned, that would actually be engraved anyway, so I just want to do a step over test on that to see what it was. I think I had the step over set at 40%. I'm not quite sure, but all in all, it came out pretty well. It didn't go through the other side.
So I'll put some holes in that and hang it up on the wall. It's my first actual test on the aluminum. I just eyeballed it on the aluminum too. It's not perfectly in the center either direction on X or Y on the aluminum plate itself. And if you're cutting it out, it don't matter because it's going to be perfectly precise. All your inside diameters will be right on the money, but in this case I just eyeballed it for this test. All in all, I'm pretty happy with it, other than that step over. I'll be doing a few more videos, probably from here on out. I'll be all in aluminum now. Give me a couple new end mills. Be doing some tests in the future, boys.